Select y'all that you might find in a mature meandering stream. We have the mature meandering stream over here on the left hand side. This meanders because it moves from side to side. These streams occur at base level. Remember, streams always want to cut down to base level. When you're up in the mountains, the water table is going to be a little bit lower, and so that stream wants to cut all the way down till it reaches the water table. However, when you get to like the coastal plain, the water table is very near the surface, and so it no longer wants to cut down. Any energy the stream has is no longer down cutting, but it starts to do what's called lateral erosion or lateral cutting, and that's why the stream starts to move side to side. So some of the features between the two, again, this one on the right would be up in the mountains. The one on the left is down in the coastal plain where we have the meandering streams. Deep down cutting valley, well, that would not be with the meandering stream over here. That's with our mountain stream that's cutting down, trying to get down to base level. The oxbow lakes, these are these features out here, and it's wherever a stream has meandered out and around. Sometimes it'll cut itself off, and instead of going all the way around where the stream used to be out here, a little flood will occur, and it'll link up across to the other side and stop going around that. And streams always want to take the easiest way to the ocean, and so it'll take this new path, and this will be extremely low energy, and it'll start to fill in, and it'll cut off. This would be a cut off meander originally, but these are called oxbow lakes, so that would be something we find in a mature meandering stream. Point bars and cut banks, there are also features we find in meandering streams where, again, as the stream is carrying sand and silt and clays around, well, when it goes around any curve, the inside of the curve, it's got to slow down to get around the curve, where the outside it can go really fast around the outside. So as it loses energy on the inside of the curve, it can no longer carry the sand, and the sand's going to fall out, and it'll build up a little sandy bar on the inside of the curve, and we call those point bars. On the outside of the curve, where the energy can speed up to whip around that outside curve, that's where it increases energy. It's going to cut that outer bank, and so that's going to be our cut banks. But they're both features of meandering streams, so we'd check on those. Waterfalls, well, obviously that's something you find up in the mountains, so high energy environments, very steep gradients up there. We're not going to have that one. Wide floodplains, well, again, that's your meandering stream. Down here in the mountains, it can't move side to side. There's no floodplains. If you have a heavy rain, the stream will get deeper, but it's confined on both sides by the mountainous areas, and so there's no real floodplain. It stays confined down into the channel still. Whereas this one, if you have a heavy rain and the water levels rise, there's nothing to confine on either side, and it'll overflow its banks and start to fill in. This is your floodplain out here. And also, whenever it overflows its banks, again, whenever a stream leaves its channel and it's not confined to the channel anymore, it will lose energy. And just like, when it comes out, if it doesn't have the energy, the sediment starts to fall out, and the bigger stuff falls first. So we'll have a buildup of sandy stuff all along the edges here. Those will be called natural levees, and so that would be a feature with our meandering stream. Wide floodplains we already talked about. Of course, we have those. Cut banks we already talked about. Boulder streams. No big boulders down here. We got sand, silt, and clay. The big boulders and cobbles, those would be up in the mountains. The higher energy, the bigger the stuff it can carry downstream. But by the time it makes it down to the coastal plain, all that stuff's gotten left behind. No big boulders down here where we live. They're all up in the mountains with the higher energy environments up there.